see that how the thing should be. Means that is all we talk about: designing, operating, and maintaining it. These three things we cover up everywhere. That means we should have operational preparedness. The design of the ship should be such that it should be safe. And the last one is, you have been given a good thing, you have to maintain it. So that is what is our job is. So operational part and the maintenance is our responsibility. Owner makes the ship and gives us, and that time all the regulations are followed. That's what we studied. What is a class A bulkhead, how you protect the ship, and so on. Now this I will minimize, okay, participants. Now passenger ships have to have a safety center. Why? Now this is where the part comes. Now when we say these passenger ships, you can have fire on ships, and that time what do you do with passengers? And first thing, we take all precautions that fire shouldn't take place on passenger ship. Perfectly fine. Construction time, everything, we follow everything. Then you also have a large number of passenger ships. Actually, majority of passenger ships happen to be like ferries, because they carry passengers, they carry their vehicles and so on. So then the risk involved is higher, that there can be fire because you have got so many vehicles with fuel in their tanks, and passengers have got access to it. It depends. Passengers do have access to these areas on ferries. So that is where the major thing comes, and then there have been lessons learnt. Passenger ships catching fire, and passengers don't know what to do. You can't just abandon ship just because the fire has started, because ship is still the safest place. So your decision to abandon ship will come only when you give up on your firefighting ability to control that fire. That is the reason you will have people still hanging around there, and fire is going on. There will be panic and so on. So what happens is, you create a safety center. Safety center means you keep passengers safe till the time you extinguish the fire, or till the time you decide to abandon ship. Till then you have to keep passengers safe. So purpose of this regulation is to provide a space to assist with management of emergency situations. See the wording: management of emergency situation means you will do what you are supposed to do, fighting, etc., but you provide a space for passengers where they are safe. They don't have to get tensed up and start running around all over. Either it should be part of navigation bridge, or be located in a separate space adjacent to and having direct access to navigation bridge. So in simple words, it will be next to navigation bridge, where passengers also feel safe because captain is there. And management of emergency can be performed without distracting watch officers from their navigational duties. So you always remember, even when you are fighting fire, somebody is doing navigation anyway. There is a duty officer, and this is what one question was asked. Okay, and it is asked. I do ask it anyway now, because once I learned that, then I thought, good question. You are on a watch. You are second officer, and you get fire alarm. What will you do? Most of the time people start jumping around and do this without even thinking. You are a duty officer. Fire alarm has started automatically. All you will do is, you will wait for captain to reach bridge. If he doesn't come in reasonable time or 2-3 minutes, you will call up his cabin, or if you have got anybody available, because by the time alarm is going on, so nobody can be sleeping. So captain will come on bridge, and he will decide what is to be done. You continue your watchkeeping duties. Always remember, just because captain is on bridge doesn't mean you are relieved of your responsibilities of watchkeeping. This is the important part you have to remember. So here what we are talking, is you don't distract duty officer. Rest of the teams you take and handle the fire, handle that emergency. But duty officer remains there. Always remember this watchkeeping. This question is very common and it's an ancient question. The captain is on bridge. No, captain will tell you very clearly, yes, second mate, I take over. These are the words. Then only he has taken the charge. You don't expect a guy coming from his sleep or just assuming he just walks in on the bridge without knowing anything. How can he take the control? He has to first see what is the situation. Duty officer will brief him that this is it, that ship is like this, and then captain gets the picture, and then he says, yes, I take over. Always remember that, don't mix up. Now layout design, it is done by the, say, as per SOLAS, and it is checked, design every aspects are checked by classification society, and then only it is approved. Means of communication between safety center, central control station, navigation bridge, engine control room, etc., etc., okay, shall be provided. Means you first establish communications. That is what it is saying. Now here the wordings, now safety center, adjacent to navigation bridge, central control station. You will remember I have mentioned it many times. On passenger ship, you may have specialist firefighters, and that is what comes in picture. The central control station may not be on bridge, it may not be part of bridge. Bridge is left only for navigation. Rest of the activities are done from somewhere else. You have an extra officer for that, no problem. Because when you have got passengers, you have to think about their safety. Engine control room, storage rooms, or fire extinguishing systems, or fire equipment, or lockers, etc. Means there will be more or less, I will say, communication by walkie-talkies. Control monitoring of safety system. Okay, it's always the normal thing that you have to control everything. Safety systems must be controlled and monitored. So it covers ventilation, powered ventilation, because you know you can switch off ventilation from one spot. And you also know on passenger ships, you also need arrangement for removing smoke. Remember this, we have discussed in the past. It is like a dual-edged sword. If it has got too much of smoke, you don't know where is the fire, so you can't extinguish it, you can't fight it. And if you remove the smoke, you are allowing some oxygen to come in. So it is one of those tricky decisions. Fire doors, again they all have got electromagnetic locks and all, so that they are, when they are left open, you can just use the switch and all of them will close. General alarm is a normal system. Public address system is always there on passenger ships, because passengers can get panicky just by hearing a signal. So the public address system addresses them, tells them that okay, don't worry, you do this, you do that, in calm voice. Electrically operated evacuation guidance systems, like you will have maybe direction indicators or small loudspeakers telling them okay, follow this route, whatever. Watertight and semi watertight doors. Watertight doors can be operated from control stations. Okay, that is how they are designed, and locally. All the things can be operated locally, but generally you operate them from a control station. Indicators for shell door, loading doors, etc. Because you know passenger ships and all, uh, depending on size and route and other things. But you also have shell doors. It's easy to take this provisions. Then shell doors are easy to get. Pilot can't be climbing up that much of a ladder. Additionally, you can have a shorter gangways. Why? Because then you don't climb up much. The shell door will make it more or less close to horizontal, which is easier for people. So you have got shell doors. Inner and outer bow doors, turn doors, etc. Okay, these are shell doors. The reason being, like I told you, when we talk about passenger ship, most of the passenger ships are like ferries which carry vehicles. How will they come on board? So there has to be ramp. So there are ships where the bow lifts up and opens and the ramp is forward. Then ramps are behind. Ramps are on sides, depending on the ship. Television surveillance system, that is CCTV system. Fire detection, fire alarm system, that is a common thing you know. Fixed firefighting, uh, local application system, because actually it is more complex than what I am telling you. On passenger ships, depending on the place protected, you will have to have different types of system. Fixed firefighting also, you may have one for vehicle space, you may have one for cabins, you may have one for common places, open places, whatever. Sprinklers are there, water based for machinery system, water based system for machinery spaces. Again, hyper mist, it's always hyper mist. Alarm to summon the crew, like I have told you earlier that fire alarm starts on passenger ships. These alarms go to control station. Control station will verify it and then only the general alarms will be given, because there is always a possibility of false alarms, and that time it can be a really very bad situation. Very bad situation it can be, because people panic. I have seen even a professionals panicking, like on our cargo ships. I have seen professionals panicking if you actually put smoke, and I have done it many times. Without any notice, you have to check, no, how much is our preparedness to fight fire. So you have smoke bombs and on. So you put a smoke bomb somewhere, smoke starts coming, and then you see the reactions. Only few people know it. Yeah, I am notorious that way. But you see, idea is what people should not be dying. When you prepare something, why not? Means if you play cricket, okay, if you play cricket, won't you like to have one of the famous bowlers to come and bowl at you? Just so that you feel that yes, I am ready. Okay. This atrium smoke extraction system, now this is what I was talking about, that when we talk about ventilations and all, you have to think about this. Now this is the independent system for atrium, but everywhere you have to think about that smoke. Flood detection systems, flooding detection systems, they are there because passenger ships also have got ability to correct a heavy list quickly. Okay, there is ability. Now I don't know much in detail, but there is ability that can correct the list quickly. Means like 10-15 degrees, if she goes on one side, they can quickly change it and bring it back to normal, because that sort of a ballast systems and all are there, because the same flooding in case flooding starts. Fire pumps, emergency pumps, that's a standard thing, correct? So that is all. See, full here, okay, operation control monitoring. Yeah, they have. I know they have, but I can't tell you in details how they are. I know the system exists, but I don't know much about details about the system. Container ships also have it, okay, but container ships systems are transfer of ballast from extreme tanks, like starboard tank to port, port to starboard. It is automatic. Otherwise, you will never be able to load containers, because ship is all the time going like this, as you put the loads. But passenger ships, I don't know how much superior it is than the container ships. Maybe container ships is more superior. So here, full functionality of the safety system listed below shall be available from safety center. That is where we say safety center will be able to control these things. Operations, control, monitoring, all the three. So three things remember. Monitoring means there is a feedback coming for your actions. That is monitoring. Okay. So we go to the. Wait a minute. I did start on the right one. 23 we did, sorry, we did it ulta. Okay, we did 23 first. I wanted to do 21, but I didn't realize ये उल्टा होता है. Okay, 21. Now this condition is casualty threshold, means whatever is the casualty, there is a threshold. Up to that limit, you should be able to return to port, safe return to port. Ship should have capability to reach the port again. Udesh, I will come to that. Okay, service tank, settling tank, we'll do after this. Safe return to port and safe areas. Okay. Purpose is to have a design criteria for a ship's safe return to port under its own propulsion after casualty. One second, I'll just take call. It's a strange one. Hello. हाँ मुकेश बोल. गुड गुड. नाही नाही, यावेळी मला कमी तास दिलेले. यावेळी हे रिड्यूस केलेलं. हां, आणि राहुल काळेला त्याच्यातून क्लासेस काढून दिलेले. आम्ही यावेळी सिलेबस वगैरे कारण बघितलं पास्ट एक्सपिरियन्सवरून की संपवू शकतो म्हणून. तो हे ॲडजस्टमेंट केलं. लास्ट इयर आणि हे इयर कम्पेअर नाही करू शकत. हे बघ, मी तुला पाठवलंय ना, त्याच्यामध्ये हे बघ टोटल 30 आवर्स आहेत ना. टोटल 30 आवर्स असतील बघ. एक मिनिट, कारण माझा क्लास, तुला मी कॉल करू अजून थोड्या वेळाने. क्लास चालू आहे म्हणून. हां, okay. Okay, idea is ship should return to port under its own propulsion after casualty. That's why the casualty, now you will say casualty can be anything. So there is a threshold also is given. Okay, that does not exceed the casualty threshold that is given in paragraph 3. Now that means what happens, how severe is the casualty. But if it is what ship is being designed for, some accident happens, still she should manage safe return to a port under own propulsion. So that means machinery spaces and all will need a better protection. Casualty threshold, okay, in this, in context of fire, loss of space and all etc. classroom A boundaries, means some compartments are lost and all, which will be defined. If this compartment is lost, can you manage it? Means in simple words, without going through too many details. The machinery space and propelling machinery space will be well protected from fire, because if that catches fire, you can't return to port. Navigation bridge will have to be well protected. That means two things: ship's muscle, eyes must be okay, and passengers should be safe. That is for the accidents where we have done some calculations and said if this happens, they do a lot of calculations actually. If there is a collision and that ship is doing this speed and you lose so much, what happens? You lost 2 compartments. What happens? Okay, then there will be list. So that can it be corrected? Yes, it can be corrected. So this is all defined, and that is what we are talking under this, and it will be more in details. And basically we keep machinery space and bridge well protected, and when the threshold is not exceeded, ship shall be capable of returning to port. Okay, and for that propulsion, see, these following things must remain operational: propulsion, steering system, steering control system, navigation system, system for fill transfer service of oil tanks, fuel oil, not oil tanks, fuel oil. Because ships keep minimum requirements in machinery space. Other one is outside, and that is where the service tanks, settling tanks come in. First is the fuel is transferred from storage tank to settling tank, where uh, it goes to purifiers, the fuel is processed and made ready to use, and then it is kept in service tank. From service tank it goes to pump, and from where it is actually injected in the engine, and that is how engine runs. So there is a limited capacity for service tanks and settling tanks, and if there are heating arrangement, then there are extra alarms. Temperature should not exceed this. If temperature exceeds the flash point, then there will be fire. So it has to be below that, and there are alarms, and then all the six sides can be seen. Service and settling tanks. Any tank in the engine room, you can see everything, so that any leakage, anything you can see with eyes. Okay. Internal communications as expected. External communication, that is if you are going to contact port and others, so that you are protected a bit. Then main fire systems, fireman system is the deck water supply, fixed fire extinguishing system, fire and smoke detection systems, power operated watertight weather. That's the same list like what we saw under 23. Safe areas, systems intended to support safe areas, because safe areas will also need ventilation and all. You can't say the safe area hai udhar baito and there is no ventilation. There is all the factors you have to consider. Flood detection system, exactly the same points. Now safe areas, okay, this is what we saw, should be operational. This is the list of operational things, is 14 items. Then you have got safe areas. Safe areas shall provide following basic services to ensure health and crew is maintained. So what happens if there is accident? So you put people in safe areas, and what you give them? Sanitation means you have to have a toilet facility, a washing facility, because somebody may have to wash face, they may get dirty, anything, whatever. So you provide all sanitation facility. Water for normal use as well as for drinking. Food should be available, because it may need few days to reach the port. Then what will you do? So there is a food arrangement also. Now this food arrangement can be more like vending machine types, whatever it is, or something which is ready-made stuff. Nobody is going to start cooking there. Alternate space for medical care means some part should be kept for medical care. Some people may get hurt, so you should be able to give proper first aid and some more help based on the system. Like if you have got a doctor, then you will definitely make sure there are few beds made available in safe areas. Shelter from weather, it is obvious, it has to be protected from weather. Means of preventing heat stress and hypothermia means air conditioning and heating, both arrangements, depending on what you need to maintain the temperature and humidity of the place. Light, obviously, and ventilation. Okay. Now it is okay, ventilation designed reduce the risk that smoke and hot gases can, because there is something on fire maybe just nearby, but you are protected, but with wind you can get impact, no, little bit here and there. Then means of access to life-saving appliances shall be provided. Why? Because safe area, we have taken all the precaution, but suppose ship had a collision and you are going under your own propulsion to safe port, and what happens in the middle? There is excessive flooding and ship is going to sink. Then what will you do? If you don't have access from safe area to life-saving appliances, so that you should be able to board the lifeboats and abandon ship also. So abandon ship is never taken out of mind. It is always kept. It is possible you may have to do. And alternate spaces, like for medical care, maybe you have a separate room where you can give first aid or more, because a lot of passenger ships have got a doctor on board. Again, it depends on what type of passenger ship it is. Anything over 12 passengers, is a passenger ship. So it is difficult to define. You may have 2000 passengers, you may have 200. So we get to the 22. That will finish our SOLAS regulations. Okay. Still we got only half the class, like 32. Okay. Operational idea is you should remain operational after fire casualty. That means after fire you should remain operational. You cannot say ये जल गया अभी मैं क्या करूँ. So that means all the essential things must be protected from fire by a variety of methods. One will be obviously all the important things are protected by class A bulkheads and maybe something more than that to make sure that आग लगी है लेकिन ये बीच में nothing will go wrong. That is what we are looking at. The whole thing is remaining operational for supporting the orderly evacuation and abandonment of a ship. So in simple words, for this purpose you also need to protect your escape routes. Escape routes must be protected, otherwise how will, if it is not operational, you will never be able to evacuate. And so all evacuation systems, escape routes must be protected first, and then the abandonment of the ship should be able to you should be able to do it without any complications. Now these vertical zones, okay, you understand this. Normally our cargo ships and all, you have got more horizontal zones. Vertically, we are only one compartment, means each deck is continuous. Passenger ships, you also have vertical divisions, so that if this area is on fire, it should not spread here. So there is vertical separation also. That is where we get those fire doors, watertight doors, they come in there, because the rule is from bottom of the ship, from double bottoms to the uppermost continuous deck, you must have vertical separation. That is how we create compartments on a ship. Now if you are going to go from one compartment to other, every time you are not going to climb up and come down on any passenger ship. So you need to make opening in that bulkhead. When you need to make opening in that bulkhead, so you will have full watertight doors, means below water level has to be full watertight door, then semi watertight doors, and you also have fire doors, so that the integrity of the vertical bulkhead is maintained. This is what has to be done during designing stage. And then what else we need is what should remain operational. Firemen's, and then same list you have got. Okay. Now build system for removal of firefighting water must remain operational, because you know that we have done it enough number of times. Build pumps have got higher capacity. Fire pump will have only 2/3 capacity, so that water collects and most of the pumps can be used to pump it out, the stability effect and so on. Okay. Lighting along the escape routes, etc., assembly stations everywhere, it must be operational throughout. Guidance systems for evacuation shall be available. Guidance systems, when we say should be available, means see, on passenger ship you need guidance systems. It is not that everybody know. For us, we are professionals, we can understand the sign. So guidance systems can be different, and I can't give you many examples because I have not seen different ones, but I know there are guidance systems. Like if you go to, like Japanese use color codes, just follow the color, and that has been very successful, and I learnt about it long ago. The means if you have got a green ticket, why? Because you are going from A to D, you have to change train at B and C. The ticket color will guide you, because you just look at it's green, so you just follow the green arrows. you will go to the right place. Now same one is adopted by Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital in Mumbai. You know, it is at what you can call it. It is at 4 bungalows actually, means somewhere between Andheri and Warsaw. That is where they follow the same system. Their things are written, and the color is given. You just follow the arrow, you will go. You have to go to the office, you want to go to X-ray lab, or you have to go to this department. You just follow the arrow. So similarly, there are systems, guidance systems for evacuation. Now, this system shall be capable of operation for at least 3 hours based on assumption of no damage outside the unserviceable main vertical zone. Okay. So basically it should be operational when the vertical bulkheads are breached, also still it should manage for 3 hours. That is it. So here in last 3 rules, basically what we are looking at it is we accept there can be casualty, there can be damage. Then what we have got is one safe area which must be provided. Safe area should have communications with other areas, and ship should be also capable of making port safe on own propulsion, plus the passengers are safe areas where they should be provided with the things like the last one we did, no, food, water, ventilation. It should be temperature control, humidity control compartment, and so on. So these are the 3 rules which got added up late, means they became applicable quite recently. So if you use any old publication, you may find these ones missing, especially 23. 23 may be missing. So just watch out. If you stick to this, you are okay, because this is updated till 2020. So now any doubts? The usual question. And then I get a chorus reply, no sir. Aniket Misra is showing us video also. Either